Alright, hello and welcome to Echoes of Color with Jefferey Morrison. How's it going? Alright, I'm gonna do another whip and chat here. That was so much fun. Alright, so Craft Please, Midnight Warrior by Sarah Burrier. 20 inches by 28 inches, round drill. 62 colors in total, including 2 ABs, which stands for Aurora Borealis. And they're an iridescent coated type of drill that sparkles a little brighter than that of regular drills. And 2 rhinestones, silver bottomed, translucent faceted tops. I said that backwards, but you know. Okay, how's it going? We're having tons of fun. Went for a coffee run. Got my dad a coffee as well. Delicious caffeinated goodness. Yum yum. Alright, so just working, just a couple more colors left. B, C, and Y. Working on C for now. So yeah. Alright, hopefully you're having a wonderful day. Just kind of chilling for a Saturday. Oh, excusez-moi. Okay, there we go. Yeah, just kind of hanging out. Finished the A-B part for the moon. For the crescent moon. In this section, anyway. They're still the other half of the moon, so... This isn't the end of the A-Bs, so... Just one of those gloomy, blah, overcast kind of days. As usual. Still nippy. It is trying to snow. It's just on the cusp of wanting to snow. So... Yeah, I went into the coffee shop because I had a couple loonies and a bunch of quarters. Cashier looked at me funny. I physically counted it out. He thought I was doing debit or something because my one of my debit cards fell out. Like, nope. No, sorry, I'm doing change. And he just kind of probably sighed internally. Oh, you got a card out. Oh, and just fell out of my wallet. So sorry. Here's some change. Guess people don't like counting change anymore. I don't know. I collect it. It's still currency. It's not like it was all quarters. Like it was a couple times ago. Oh. Yeah, I still have some pennies, like, in my change counter machine, but change counter container, not a machine. It's just plastic. But it counts the value of pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters, loonies, and toonies. But pennies are phased out, have been phased out, but there's probably still like thousands of them somewhere in people's houses. Or probably like rare collectible ones just hidden in somebody's change, probably, that have some value. For those who like collecting coins, that's a heavy possibility, I'd imagine. I just have a few pop vinyl figures, so yeah, I'll just keep those nice and safe. It'll be valuable one day. And if you have certain Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I'm sure they'll be valuable at some point. Yeah, first edition comic books, yeah, just that kind of collectible stuff probably carries a value. I think I have like Harry Potter figurines, like plastic figurines, still in their original packaging. Those might have value. Yeah, I got them from like a bookstore or something, or on Amazon or something years ago. I was into Harry Potter. Probably have a pretty penny to them, but I don't know about that stuff. I just like the figurines, but I heard at one time that Beanie Babies and stuff with the tag still on them, or that kind of thing, or collectors, they'll be really valuable. So they'll become rare or something. And if you take really good care of those kind of things, they'll be valuable. Sought after, or, yeah. Kind of like concert tickets to an extent. Well, not the length of time that for concert tickets, but like the value of concert tickets. Just all depends on who the artist is and what the concert is. Some regular seats for regular prices could be just laughable for people that want really good seats. Prices could be jacked up 2 or 3 times the actual value of the ticket. It's insane. A couple of $1,000 just to go to like a concert. I'd rather just like stream the music, or if I have their CD or something, listen to it in my car. Get better sound that way, but kind of one of those experiences that a certain number of people get to have, like a live performance. But I don't know, if it's like music or something like that, I just skip the crowds and just get a CD or stream it. If I really wanted to hear that kind of, hear any artist's music. Of course, if I like the artist, I'd be, yeah, buying their music to be able to listen to anytime, but yeah, of course, digitally listening to music from like a streaming service, I hope the artist is getting compensated or something from that, from your music being streamed millions, if not billions of times, certain tracks and all that. I hope the musician is getting paid for their work. Don't know. Yeah, buying CDs may be kind of laughable, but not absolutely everywhere is going to have a good, stable Wi-Fi connection where you could actually like stream music constantly, or yeah, be on Wi-Fi with a constant, steady signal. It's not perfect, but it is handy if you do need Wi-Fi on your phone or whatever. I think some cars have, some of the newer vehicles have Wi-Fi built in, but I think you have to pay for a subscription fee or something to keep the Wi-Fi going in your vehicle. Yes, it's for individuals who do business or travel a lot on the road, commute, so. Or just that interconnectivity consistency thing, so. I don't know, we're just so connected via Wi-Fi or with technology that it's just almost expected to be everywhere. But yeah, to some extent it's good to be away from it for a bit. Oh yeah. Yeah, eventually there might be a generation where they don't know how to write or print or handwrite with like a writing utensil. It's just, here's a tablet, here's a miniature computer or something, and yeah, just do your book report on the tablet and email it to the teacher. Well, I'm Save the Rainforest kind of guy, but not just obsessed with it, but it save a lot of trees to an extent. Save paper, but oh, there's something about working with your hands that's like just part of life, like well, holding a video game controller and yeah, working a tablet is still using your hands, but I don't know, writing, it's kind of a neurological, physiological experience. You develop eye-hand coordination and boost your knowledge, concentration, that kind of thing. It helps you physically in the long run, being able to print and that kind of thing just by hand. I don't know, I just have a feeling there's going to be children who just don't have that ability, and they'll just look at you sideways with, what the heck is this? What's a pen? It's like, yeah. I don't know, that's just me. I might still be some form of writing somewhere in the future. I just can't be 100% sure though. Well, maybe for like some writers or authors, I think you can open a Word document at this point and dictate what you want to write, like verbalize it, talk to your word processor, and it types it out for you. I think that's a thing. I've heard of it. Dictation or diction. Yeah. Yeah, that's what ghostwriters are as well. Maybe they like record, they're there with the writer or whatever, and they just kind of write down what the writer is saying, maybe. Could be a form of writing as well. I'm not sure. I think Robert Jordan took over or finished writing The Sword of Truth series by Tara Goodkind, the last few books of the series. I think it was Robert Jordan. I probably have that wrong, but yeah, I think somebody just ghost writes for Tom Clancy because he's passed away. Terry Goodkind, I think, passed away as well. So people just write his name. Their names are just kind of like trademarks. They're just there to help sell books. Kind of odd in a way, but yeah, I guess that's kind of a recognition thing. Like if it's the same character like in a book series per se, and the series is really successful, but the author passed away, another writer takes over and just kind of keeps the series going. Maybe tweaks it a bit, but keeps the spirit of the original series going. So I think for epic fantasy, you definitely have to plan. Well, for any story, I hope it gets planned half decently. Kind of outlined roughly, and then certain things happen in the books. Just kind of determine the length of the whole adventure kind of thing. Terry Goodkind just kept writing. I think he wanted to stop at Confessor, but I guess the series, he kept getting ideas and he just kept writing. It's supposed to be like a 9 or 10 book series or something. It's like 21. There's novellas and stuff. I think there's 17 main entries, like mainline entries of the core series, and then a few novellas or prequels or whatever. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. Yeah, that's good for like writers who are like still around, but like appreciated or respected the author's work. So writing in their name, in another author's name, yeah, kind of nice. Because what if some ideas were just kind of left hanging at the end of a certain book? So that could have been the reasoning too. Or Terry Goodkind just kept on having ideas and wanted to keep going. Because there's always another story within the one you're trying to tell, usually. An idea or some other detail just sparks interest of a reader, and it's like, oh, there's something more to this, or possibly more background or description of an event or something happening in a certain part of the story or the world that was created. Really cool. Kind of like Star Wars, how it's branched off certain characters or certain events that weren't described in like the core Star Wars franchise movies, like the Star Wars series. There's books written about Star Wars, like The Empire Strikes Back and that. I think there's novelizations. But yeah, then there's like background stories that kind of explain things. Besides the mainline entries, so. Oh, pretty cool. Like, I think the Sith or something are described. Or there's a story about someone who's a Sith. Even Darth Maul himself. Just kind of the role he played during his time while he was still having fun. I really looked into those books, but I just like long, detailed stories. They're appealing, in my opinion, but yeah. Sometimes there's stories that are drenched in detail, but if it's like epic fantasy or science fiction, you have to kind of explain, literally build a world and describe it and what the characters do within that world. And that's not going to be like a 200-page book by any means. Still have major situations and dozens of characters who are dealing with the issues or obstacles in the world that's been created. So yeah, it's not just going to be a couple pages and you're not going to get an effective story that way. Yeah, I don't know too much about the writing process, but like just reading a couple novels now. Yeah, you're building a world, yet you have at the same time tell a story with the characters that you have. And sometimes that's done really effectively. Like the characters help build the world based on their experiences or what they're going through. That makes it easier to kind of build a gigantic world, living, breathing world, while characters are going through certain situations that would warrant having to explain the laws or the function of the world that they're in. So yeah, so J.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, Brandon Sanderson, Mistborn, and I think Sword of Shannara or something eventually. Yeah, Mistborn is kind of before Sword of Shannara, or yeah, whatever that's called, Chronicles. Yeah, I haven't really touched Brandon Sanderson yet, but the Mistborn novels will be my introduction to Brandon Sanderson, if I'm saying his name, if I even have the right name. But yeah, yay books. books have been around for like a while, since like the 90s. Some of the first ones were published in the 90s. I was too young to appreciate them, but now I can, so diving into them now. Okay, yeah, there's like 3 F's here, so I'll get those. 53. Yikes. Stickers are coming off. Okay, F. I really need like 3 drills. But yeah, here I am talking about epic fantasy and science fiction when, yeah, even like young adult fiction and thrillers and mysteries, yeah, there's a world. You have to build a world too. Just not to an extravagant point of epic fantasy, because mysteries can be based in reality sometimes. If it's historical mystery, yeah, you kind of have to stick to the time period, but to give people the idea of what that time period entails. Like, you're not going to have the main character fly a spaceship or something in like the early 1900s AD. So you could if it was Back to the Future or something, but yeah, it's like, but yeah. There are different levels of detail. I'd say the most in science fiction and high fantasy. You are going to get a lot of exposition, character exposition, or conversations between characters, or world building via the characters' perspectives based on their knowledge and their status in, or their role in the overall story. So I'm not an English professor or anything. It's just what I've kind of observed or heard of over the years. I'm not an English professor by any means. So, D4. But after like reading quite a bit of books, or reading some books that are fairly influential, yeah, you kind of get a feel for this kind of thing. But I don't know everything about writing, or probably a lot more behind the scenes than what I've said. But there's probably just a fraction of a spark of what writing really entails. Oh, excuse me. Like, I feel like mystery books, somebody's figuring out who got murdered or something, or why somebody disappeared. So you leave out details, and then they're revealed later to solve a problem. Yeah, so details are kind of spotty, then they're described near the end as the character discovers what's going on, or characters. Thriller, kind of like the Da Vinci Code or something. It's usually there's going to be something catastrophic happening, and the characters have to think on their feet, and somebody is usually trying to deal with the main characters and antagonists that's either following them or watching what they're doing. So you get story as you go, I guess, or details in spurts. The details are explained. So kind of similar to mystery, where you get details as you go, but high fantasy, you kind of have the information, yeah, delivered over time, but it's like more established kind of information. It's a slower reaction or actionable conflict, which the character, yeah, so I kind of like the long drawn out detail kind of stuff, because that's how you get character growth and progression. Because main character could be like a snotty, self-centered individual at the beginning, just as an example, not snubbing anybody's main characters in books here. Just, yeah, they change or evolve as the story goes on. They learn things, they smarten up, they learn to know better through their experiences and transform that way in order to serve their purpose. So yeah, so probably why people like want different amounts of information depending on what they read. So anyway, you've been watching Echoes of Color with Jeffery Morrison. Down below in the description, I put my Facebook profile name, my Echoes of Color Facebook business page. Really just a website on Facebook. That's really all it is. And my Instagram. All three I just try to update simultaneously. If I were to finish this section, I'm fairly close. Yeah, I just have Y down here. Yeah, so I take a picture of finished section, blurb, artist, diamond painting company, and yeah, brief blurb, and then yeah, I just go to the next section. Also post walking challenge information down below in the description as well. Just the main websites for Conqueror and Pacer. Conqueror being Lord of the Rings challenge, part 4 of 5, Eye of Sauron, and Pacer being Silk Road, trading route in Asia used, or a series of trading routes that moved goods across Asia, 700 BC kind of thing. So yeah. Yeah, just information purposes only for the main sites. So I won't receive a commission or anything. They're just the main websites where I purchase the challenges to get started. But totally optional. Yeah, don't feel obligated or anything. It's just down there for just so you know. But anyway, take care. All the best with your crafting endeavors / hobbies. And yeah, I'll see you again soon. Bye.